What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper, and I wanted to talk to you guys about militias after SHTF. And in this video, I'm just going to quickly share some of my opinions about militias and why we need to be concerned about it. And it's not what you guys think. So when you mention the word militia, most people think about patriot groups and armed citizens that are going to get together and protect their communities. But when I mention militia, I'm not talking about, the patriots and the good guys that are going to try to get together, the sheepdogs, that are going to get together to protect their communities. All right. I'm not talking about those militias. I'm talking about bad militias, just because, we think that every militia is always going to be good, and us as preppers and as patriots, we think that every militia is going to be good, but there could be bad militias. There could be militias that are trying to basically rape and pillage, and raid people's houses and control territory, and things like that. So we have to keep an eye out for the bad militias, and for example, if we think about a lot of the guys that, like Timothy McVeigh, for instance. Timothy McVeigh was a military veteran. He was in the Gulf War. He was in the Army. He obviously was trained on how to shoot and how to, maneuver and use tactics. So I just want you guys to think about, what would you do if, there was a bad militia, in your area or in your part of the country, in your state, your region. What would you do if after SHTF there was a bad militia that came through and basically took over your neighborhood or took over, a big piece of land around your area? And they were exerting their will on the people in the area, kind of like Negan from The Walking Dead, something like that, where you have maybe a guy who was a veteran. Okay, he could have been in the military and he was trained. Just because someone's in the military doesn't mean that they're not prone to evil like everybody else. Just because people are military trained or in the military doesn't mean that some of these guys are not crazy. There's a lot of people that join the military for different reasons. Some people join the military just because they want to kill people, and that's a very small percentage, but some guys are pretty crazy, and they don't do psych tests on everybody that joins the military. So there could be some guys out there that are well trained, been to war, are knowledgeable about firearms and tactics, and on top of that, they're not afraid to shoot and kill people. So I predict that after SHTF we could have bad militias rising up, out of the ashes, kind of like the good militias will. You're going to have your sheepdogs and your patriot groups, but then you're also going to have your bad militias, your Timothy McVeighs and Terry Nichols type characters, who have military experience, and for whatever reason they want to use their skills and their experience to exert their will on other people, and to control territory, rape and pillage, and things like that. Okay, so if that happens, if you have a militia group like that in your area and they take over a piece of land, or they're exerting their will on you and your neighbors, they walk around with their armed thugs, who may also be trained and experienced in war. How are you going to deal with that type of group? What are going to be your tactics on how to defeat them and push them out of your area? Okay. a lot of these people may be very well trained, and they may not all necessarily be evil too. Okay, I don't want to just say that it's all going to be like some kind of crazy, ex-military white supremacist like Timothy McVeigh or Terry Nichols. They may not. They may just be a good guy who just lost it. Just from the stress of SHTF and from the stress of life. He may have just he may have just lost it mentally. And he has all these people that follow him, and he's got a group of guys that trust him, and he knows that he's powerful because he's a leader and people look up to him, and he starts exerting his will on the people in a bad way. So how are you going to deal with that? That's something to think about. Okay, how are you going to deal with a militia like that who's going around raping and pillaging or controlling territory, things like that? Basically you're marauders in a sense. These bad militias are going to be marauders, but they're going to be like well-trained marauders because they're going to have military backgrounds, and they're going to know about firearms and tactics and things like that. They're going to be maybe like I said, ex-military, maybe some of them even ex-law enforcement. So how are you going to deal with people like that? We're not talking about some dumb thugs from Minneapolis that throw Molotov cocktails at buildings. We're talking about people that are calculating, cunning, smart, tactical, experienced, good shooters, knowledge of firearms. What's your plan on how to deal with a threat like that? It's not going to be that straightforward, as dealing with some dumb, rioters that are trying to burn your house down or something like that. So you're going to have to really think hard about that. And I just wanted to get you guys to think a little bit, think outside the box that everybody's used to thinking about. Some of the ways that I would deal with it is just my thinking here. Groups like that are very, experienced and well trained. Guys like that, they tend to get arrogant, and they think that at some point they feel like they're untouchable. Okay, because they're so skilled, so trained. They're such good shooters. They have such a big force behind them. Like if we think about Negan, Negan had like hundreds of guys that looked up to him, or some of them were just scared of him. So these guys get very arrogant, and when somebody gets arrogant or overconfident, that's when they expose themselves to an attack. All right, because when you start to get arrogant and overconfident, you start to get sloppy with your decisions, with your tactical decisions, because you feel that, you're always going to win every battle and stuff like that. So you're going to expose yourself more. So in that sense, I would use that to my advantage. All right. And I would try to maybe somehow lure them out and ambush them, and do something like that. And maybe I would try to use some bait to get them to come out, and maybe like create like a bait house where I would take a house and try to lure them there somehow. And then once they get to that house, I would just ambush them with all of my guys, but I would try to bait them and lure them out and use their arrogance and overconfidence against them. That's what I would do. So, but I just wanted to get you guys to think about that. So that's pretty much it for this video, and I'm actually about to go to the range now, and I'm wearing my range shirt. I want to show you guys my NYPrepper range shirt here. It's you can buy this at my Teespring store. And this one thing that I started doing is when I go to the range, I wear this shirt because it's orange. It's always good to wear orange when you're at the range, even if you're at a private range where there's a range officer. It's always good to wear highly visible colors, because you never know, you could be downrange checking a target, and somebody's not paying attention, or you know, they're just not experienced with firearms, and they could let one go and shoot you. They may not see that you're there. So having this bright orange shirt, you know, it lets everybody know at the firing line that, hey, there's somebody downrange. So, you know, you can get this shirt at my Teespring store. It's $20, and you can find the link in the description box down below. And, you know, it helps support the channel. It helps support my videos and, you know, all the equipment that I need to make some of my videos, especially the firearms videos. You know, stuff like that. I need materials if I'm doing like penetration tests. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. So thank you so much for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the video. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are and how you would deal with a well-trained, well-armed, and experienced, you know, militia group that tries to take over your town, your area, your region, your state, you know, whatever. Let me know what you guys would do and how you would deal with them. Like I said, I would try to lure them out, you know, maybe bait them somehow, you know, use their arrogance against them, and then try to ambush them somehow and take them out that way. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you have a great Sunday. Remember to thank God for all the blessings in your life. It's such a beautiful day today. Over here in upstate New York, temperatures are in the mid-60s. So, you know, God has really provided some great weather for me to shoot today, and I'm thankful for that. So, think about all the things in your life that, you know, God has blessed you with, you know, your health, your family, your job. You know, we don't always have everything that we want, but God always provides the things that we need. So that's something to be thankful for. So that's pretty much it, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.